Welcome to WT History. In this series, we list all the major events that happened in the world in a year, starting from 1776 to 2024. On January 11th, in Morristown, New Jersey, Samuel Morse, along with Alfred Vail and Leonard Gale, made history with the first public demonstration of the telegraph, a revolutionary invention that would soon transform communication across the world. On February 24th, a duel between two U.S. congressmen, William J. Graves of Kentucky and Jonathan Cilley of Maine, ended in tragedy. Using rifles at 80 yards, Graves fatally wounded Cilley on the third shot near Bladensburg, Maryland. In May, Lord Durham arrived in Upper Canada to investigate the 1837 rebellion, eventually producing the Durham Report, a turning point in Canadian self-governance. Then, on May 26th, one of the darkest chapters in American history unfolded, the Trail of Tears. Under orders from the U.S. government, the Cherokee Nation was forcibly removed from their ancestral lands, resulting in thousands of deaths from starvation, disease, and exposure. By July 4th, the Iowa Territory was formally established, a vast expanse that would later include Iowa, Minnesota, and the Dakotas. Robert Lucas, former Ohio governor, became the first territorial governor, overseeing lands destined to become crucial parts of the American Midwest. On October 5th, the Killough Massacre marked the last large-scale Native American attack on white settlers in East Texas. 18 settlers were either killed or kidnapped, deepening tensions in the region. Then, on October 27th, Missouri Governor Lilburn Boggs issued the infamous extermination order, declaring Mormons enemies of the state. Nearly 10,000 Mormons were driven from Missouri in a brutal expulsion based on religious prejudice. This same year, Duke University was founded in North Carolina, laying the foundation for one of America's leading institutions of higher learning. Over in Europe, tragedy struck on January 10th, when a fire destroyed Lloyd's Coffee House and the Royal Exchange in London, both central to the city's financial and social life. On January 21st, a scientific milestone was recorded, the coldest temperature ever documented at the time, at -60 degrees Celsius in Yakut, Siberia. Just 2 days later, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit Vranța, Romania, devastating Moldavia and Wallachia and killing 73 people. Spring brought floods. On March 13th, melting snow and rain caused the Danube River to overflow, devastating Western Hungary and submerging Buda and Pest. Over 150 lives were lost, and much of Europe rushed aid to prevent famine and disease. On March 31st, literary fans welcomed a new Dickens classic. The first part of Nicholas Nickleby was released, beginning a 20-part series that would enthrall readers. Crossing the Atlantic, the SS Sirius left Cork, Ireland on April 4th, and after 18 days arrived in New York. Days later, the SS Great Western, built by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, completed the crossing in 15 days, inaugurating regular transatlantic steamship service. May brought political reform. In Britain, the People's Charter was drawn up, demanding universal male suffrage. On June 28th, Queen Victoria was crowned in Westminster Abbey, beginning a reign that would last over 63 years and define an era. On August 6th, London's Polytechnic Institution, Britain's first polytechnic and a forerunner of the University of Westminster, opened its doors to the public. September brought heroism. On September 7th, Grace Darling and her father courageously rescued 13 shipwreck survivors off the Farne Islands, a story that captivated the British public. Then on September 18th, the Anti-Corn Law League was founded by Richard Cobden, beginning a campaign that would eventually revolutionize British trade policy. Europe's wars continued. On October 1st, the Carlist forces won a major victory at the Battle of Mela, prolonging the First Carlist War in Spain. In Austria, on November 16th, a key section of the Emperor Ferdinand Northern Railway opened between Razgrad and Brno, boosting connectivity across Moravia. This year also saw scientific advancement. Proteins were identified as a distinct biological compound by Gerardus Johannes Mulder, and the name was coined by Jöns Jacob Berzelius. Astronomer Friedrich Bessel made the first accurate measurement of a star's distance, a major breakthrough in astronomy. In theology, Christian Hermann Weiss proposed the two-source hypothesis, shaping modern biblical criticism. Art collectors celebrated the Chatsworth head, a 5th century BC Greek bronze, acquired in Smyrna by the 6th Duke of Devonshire. Meanwhile, on the global stage, conflict erupted in South Africa. On February 6th, Boer explorer Piet Retief and 60 men were massacred by Zulu king Dingane, despite signing a treaty in good faith. Just 11 days later, the Weenen Massacre occurred. More than 500 Voortrekkers, Khoikhoi, and Basuto were killed by Zulu impis, marking one of the deadliest episodes of the conflict. Further west, on April 30th, Nicaragua declared independence from the crumbling Federal Republic of Central America. Soon after, an insurrection broke out in Tizimin, igniting the movement for Yucatan's independence from Mexico. On May 28th, Braulio Carrillo took office in Costa Rica, beginning his second term as head of state during a time of regional turmoil. On June 10th, tragedy struck in New South Wales. The Mile Creek Massacre saw 28 Indigenous Australians killed by settlers, a grim episode in Australia's colonial history. In India, on November 3rd, the Bombay Times was founded, a newspaper that would evolve into the Times of India, the nation's most prominent English-language daily. 2 days later, Honduras and Costa Rica followed Nicaragua in seceding from the Central American Federation, marking its official dissolution. Tensions exploded on November 27th as France invaded Mexico in what would be known as the Pastry War, a conflict sparked by the alleged looting of a French baker's shop. By December 16th, the Battle of Blood River cemented Boer dominance over the Zulus, with the Voortrekkers winning a decisive and a deadly victory. That same month, British and Indian armies launched the First Anglo-Afghan War, marching from Punjab to support Shah Shuja Durrani's claim to Afghanistan's throne, initiating a long and costly imperial struggle. Also this year, the Pitcairn Islands officially became a British crown colony, and its women were the first in the world to be granted and maintain suffrage, a remarkable leap for women's rights. And finally, in Algeria, Sylvain Charles Vallée founded the port city of Skikda, strengthening France's colonial footprint in North Africa. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through 1838, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.